Hello, and welcome to the Transformational Journeys Show. It is a show where we discuss about the transformational journeys of the guest, a journey which is filled with challenges, tough moments, difficult decisions, facing the inner demons, resilience, faith, belief, and the defining moment and the transformational journey. We have one such guest with us today whose grit, determination, resilience, and positive outlook inspires everyone she interacts with. It is a great pleasure to have her on the show today. I welcome Natasha Gracious to the show. Let me share a few things about Natasha. She is an HR professional, an MBA in human resource with 11 years of working across organizations and businesses. She currently writes a travel blog which goes by the name Bites and Places. She is also pursuing a course on professional counseling. And of course, walking the ramp gives a lot of pleasure and as a passion apart from a lot of things that she does. She has recently won the Smile Award in one of the fashion fiestas held across in the city of Mumbai. Last 11 years of Natasha's life has been walking with few disorders, not few, many disorders. To start, one rheumatoid arthritis, which she was diagnosed with in 2007. Idiopathic pulmonary disorder, a disorder which is a disorder of the heart and the lung. Liver cirrhosis, PCOD, hypothyroidism, and they're all a part of a reason. They manifest because of autoimmunity. We may refer to them as ailments, but Natasha has not only accepted it, befriended them. And we would want to surely know, how did she befriend them? Because that's so very interesting and so very inspiring to know. She's also undergone a very rare procedure in 2012, which happened the first time in the city of Mumbai, and that's called the intra-arterial septal stenting. Natasha, you have inspired, and I'm sure you will continue to inspire a lot of individuals like us. Tell me a little about your journey and the challenges, and how did you face those?
It's a pretty long journey, and it started in 2007 actually, when I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. But I did not know then that it was autoimmunity then, and I was put on some steroids and stuff. For 3 years almost I was on those steroids, and I don't know how, but suddenly, like one fine day, I went to my rheumatologist and he said that you no more have it, because if you did, you wouldn't have been able to walk. And I think at that time, you and I were working together with Future Generali, and that was when I was going through rheumatoid arthritis, and I was also working. So that happened, and then in 2010, there was a day when I had gone to Shoppers Stop, and I had just walked up their mezzanine floor for the going through their dresses and stuff. So it was just a matter of few steps, like maybe 7, 8 steps. And I had a very heavy breathing. I had difficulty in breathing, and I did not know what is happening to me, but I had some pain in my chest. And that's when I first realized that this never happened before, because I have been used to traveling all my life in trains, and jumping up the bridges and down the bridges and running the platform. So that was something new to me. And that was the first hint that I got when I felt that there is something wrong. But I did not pay any attention to it, and I just let it go. And then I had been to Gangtok in March of 2010. Yeah. And we were in Nathula border. Over there, it's been my lifelong dream to, see the snow. And that was the first time I actually managed to go there in the snow, which I had dreamt of since childhood. And there was snow everywhere. And suddenly, like something, I felt like my heart, my brain, and everything is going numb. And I collapsed in the snow. I thought it's maybe because of the sunlight or something. I did not know. But then we had a driver. Who said that ma'am needs to see the doctor because I've never seen any guest falling in the snow like this before. So that was Nakula was 14,000 feet. So again, I came back home and it was fine and I was fine. And then again, it started happening and it went so bad that I couldn't even walk from my kitchen to my living room. So it got that bad, and I was giving my MBA exams then, and it was rainy season. It was raining heavily, and there were no autos and all. So I had this grandfather umbrella which I carried along with me to walk. So I was just walking like a old woman for the exam to the exam center from all the way from my auto stand. So that is how I walked down, and I somehow managed to get through the exams. And um, then it got worse, and I felt something is wrong because my heart was literally pounding. Like I could feel my heart out of my chest. It was that bad, and my head was shaking like this. It was pounding so bad. I wasn't able to lie down because whenever I was lying down, the pounding used to increase. So we saw the doctor, and he gave me a few tests to do, and then he said that this is the first time I met my doctor. He was supposed to declare like what it is, what the diagnosis is, and there was nobody with me at that time. My husband was in office, so that was the first moment when I it was revealed to me that I have this disorder. He said that it's atrial septal defect, but then later on it came to be idiopathic pulmonary hypertension. Now, what is idiopathic, if you ask me, is idiopathic is the cause of the disorder is not known. So no one knew why it is happening, where it came from, and that was that. And then I was admitted in Asian Art, yeah, and I went through a battery of tests and all, and it was confirmed that I have idiopathic pulmonary hypertension. So pulmonary hypertension is basically what when the blood, the impure blood from the right heart flows to the lungs through the pulmonary artery. So the pulmonary artery of a person with the hypertension, it narrows down. So the blood is not able to pass through. So that is when the pressure builds up, and it damages the heart and the lungs. So that was when it was diagnosed, and slowly, like I was given few medications for the arteries to expand, so the blood flows through, and I was fine. Like I used to go for regular checkups and all. And in 2012, it was my brother's wedding when I we had a haldi ceremony for his wedding before one night before his wedding. So we had dance and stuff, and that was when was the first time I became unconscious. First time was in Gangtok, the second time in his wedding, and I was out for I don't know how much time, but um, everyone was scared and freaked out, and that was when I thought that we thought that something is getting back again, which was like in a dormant state for around 2 years, 1.5 years something. And I had cough for 3 months, December to March. And one day suddenly I collapsed again with cough. It was not going, and I had my mummy with me who was taking care of me, but it was not happening. And it got so bad, I had to be taken to Reliance Hospital. So I had an appointment with the doctor there because I had even the pain in my joints. I thought the arthritis is coming back. So I actually had gone there to meet the rheumatologist, but then my oxygen levels were around 92 or something, and he said that I have to be admitted in the ICU immediately because this is not the desirable oxygen levels for person. So while leaving the house, I was not aware at all that I will not be coming home again. So I had gone for an appointment, and then it turned out that I was supposed to be put in the ICU. But I insisted somehow that I want to go to my doctor who knew my condition in Asian Heart. So then I was driven to Asian Heart. Actually, I was suggested that I go in the ambulance, but I did not want to go like a patient. I wanted to travel in my car. So yeah, so we went, and all the way I was in need of oxygen, but um, because I was in my vehicle, I had to be there because it was my stubbornness that I was there. And when I reached there, actually, my mummy was with me, and she is a diabetic, and she was hungry throughout the day, and a diabetic is not supposed to stay hungry for more than 2 hours. So I was more worried about my mother than I was about my condition, because I noticed that she was actually was starting to feel giddy and stuff. So we went to Pizza Hut. There was a Pizza Hut besides Asian Heart Institute, but we ordered the pizza, but I was not in the state to even wait for the pizza to come. And we went, and that's how I was admitted, like in the ICU. I was there for around 2 weeks, and I had a few fainting spells there, and I think twice, yeah. And when the third time it happened, the doctor said that we don't think that she's going back home, and they couldn't come out with any option because my right heart had failed. And they sat and they had a brainstorming kind of a thing with my family, and there was only one option. They said that is she needs to have a heart and lung transplant immediately, but there were no donors because it suddenly happened and there were no donors. So then doctor said that the second option is to put a catheter in my neck, through which they were supposed to inject it. It would be in my neck only, and it would the fluids would be kept injected from here. But I told doctor that no, doctor, I don't want to live a life like this with the thing in my neck, the piercing thing. I can't live like this. So then again, they spoke something, and they came up with a solution of intra-atrial septal stenting. That is, a stent is put in my right heart. There's a valve from the right heart that goes to the ventricle. So there's a valve. They put a balloon, a small stent there, which is why the blood flow is good now. It happens like it should normally happen. So that was the first kind of surgery. I can't say it is a surgery, but a procedure that happened in Mumbai. That's what was told to me, and the procedure was supposed to last for around 1.5 hours, but it took around 3 hours, and I did not know what's going to happen to me because I wasn't told what the thing is about. And it's after I came to know that the doctor had no confidence at all in the procedure. I mean, that was the first time, and it was a trial and error kind of a thing. So the doctor said that it was told to my family that she may not be alive. So they were very hesitant to um, go ahead with the procedure. But then my husband said, no, you should at least try. We can at least try, whatever the results may be, but it's important to at least try. So that is how they finally decided to carry on the procedure. And then my when they took me out, My whole family, one by one, they came to see me on my bed, and I don't know that they had come there to say maybe a final goodbye to me. And then when my bed was taken out, I still remember the entire scene when everyone was standing around, and I was wondering, why are they crying? I mean, I thought that the doctors are taking me for a procedure which is going to be good, and I don't know why they all are crying. I still remember my brother's face; it was all red. My mummy, my mother-in-law, and I remember telling my mother-in-law that. Why are you crying? I mean, I'm going to be out in maybe 2 hours. So then they took me inside the elevator, and all of them gathered at the elevator to say bye. And it would have been a last goodbye to them before the doors were closed. But um, I believe in miracles. I strongly believe in miracles, and I strongly believe in prayers. The prayers that actually, when someone loves you, they pray for you so deeply. Like there's nothing that can go wrong with you, is what I believe. I've started believing in this since that moment after I came to know. And the procedure went out fine, and my life was saved in that on that table. After that, 2 years were good, and maybe I think around 2013, I was put in the hospital for a week. Um, I actually somehow started liking being in the hospital because I started making so many friends there. When I was put again, I remember an old auntie who had come for a kidney procedure. I befriended her family, and they had some farm in Nasik. So she used to share grapes with me. I remember having those big, big grapes. So it was kind of a very nice and fun stay. And then there I was supposed to go through a liver biopsy, uh, which came out to be autoimmune hepatitis. So that was revealed, and in 2015, it went. I always call it got a promotion. So hepatitis got promoted to cirrhosis. So and there was one more thing going parallel, that was hypothyroidism. So this is all happened, and I was put on steroids, and I gained a lot of weight. I had long hair before being diagnosed with hepatitis in 2013, and I had very long, very thick hair. And after I was put on steroids, all that hair started going off, and I started putting on weight because of the steroids. And it went on for a year, and there was acne all over the face. So that brings down the confidence and the morale, and you start aching in the inside that, oh God, I'm looking so bad, and there's nothing that you can do. There's nothing you can do about anything. And when I got diagnosed with cirrhosis, there were many protocols to be followed in case of food, lifestyle, everything. But I don't know why, but I've always been a kind of a rebel, a sort of a person. Maybe that helped actually, because doctor had told me to boil water for a long time for my liver. I boiled it once, and then I thought, oh God, if I have to go out, I can't keep boiling water everywhere and ask for a such super boiled water. No one is going to give me that. I love traveling. I love eating. So then I told myself, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to boil water for this long. Half of the water is gone. And every time I travel, I can't expect anyone to give me half boiled water. This I can't do that. So I made a rule for myself that okay, fine, I won't have boiled water, but I won't have the water that is not mineral water either. Like whenever I go to restaurants, I ask for the bottled water, not the normal water. So there I did a little bit of arrangement, and then food wise, I started eating only the cooked food, nothing else. No boiled stuff, no that chutneys kind of stuff where it's not cooked. So I made few principles, few a list of rules to be followed for myself. So that is how I could do what the doctor expects of me, and also I could live my life the way I want, because I am a food fanatic. I cannot live without having good food. So that is how, and there were too many changes happening inside the body. The hormones, and which is why the acne and all. So I consulted a dermatologist who gave me a few things to apply, but then nothing was working out. So when it is a hormonal problem, it's rarely that you can do, except for avoiding few stuff, like keep an eye on what is causing what changes in your body. So I started keeping an eye on what is happening, what food is bringing what changes in my body. So it came out to be this refined flour. So I stopped eating anything relating that is made of maida, the refined flour. So I stopped eating anything and everything. The cakes I gave up. I love cakes. I love muffins. I love bakery. Everything I gave up. I gave up. I turned out to be lactose intolerant, so I gave up everything relating to milk products. Everything I had to give, and that's the most I love. Coffee. I can't give up coffee, but then for a while, for my body, I had to give that up too. And then slowly and steadily, my body started to adopt these changes, the food changes, and nothing's actually impossible, really. If you put your mind to it, there's nothing that can stop you from
Yeah.
anything. Uh,
Now,
yeah.
now, how did you manage the fact that these some of these ailments could prove fatal, could be
Uh,
life-threatening?
yeah. For example, pulmonary hypertension is in fact a fatal disorder, because it's it's um, it brings limitations, restrictions, rather, to all of your activities, like your heart when you walk, or when you're climbing up the stairs, or you're walking up the inclination. So your heart cannot bear that, or cannot take that pressure. So what that was what I realized. Like I couldn't walk faster like other people do. So if I walk up the stairs, the first few years, I completely avoided the staircases. And if I did, I walked up maximum one floor. Otherwise, above one floor, I someone or the other used to carry me up. So slowly and steadily, like I used to climb one step, stop. Then I used to climb up another one, then stop. So I used to take a whole lot of time climbing just one floor. So slowly, the activities started increasing. The medicines, my body started to accept the medicines also that I was taking. And traveling had become a huge problem. But then I started going to places where my body, my heart would allow me to, because I used to love to go to the cold countries, but then it wasn't for me. So that's how I avoided traveling to countries where there's extreme cold. But then I realized that it's not the cold that is stopping me. It is the height from the sea level that is the problem. I cannot travel to a place, any place, which is 5,000, more than 5,000 feet above the sea level. So That is what I noticed when I traveled to Amsterdam, because Amsterdam was extremely cold. It was around 5 degrees, but my heart, there was no problem. And that is when I realized that it's not the cold that is stopping me, it's the height that is stopping me. Because once I traveled to Uti, it is around 7,500 feet above the sea level. So over there, I had severe pain in my heart, my nose started bleeding. And that's when I realized that it's the height that is causing me the issues,
Uh-huh.
not the temperature. So that's when I made up my mind that I will travel to places which are only 5,000 less 5,000 or 5,000 feet below. So that's how I restricted my travel. Yeah, and about walking and stuff, I had climbed. I have even climbed Pratapgarh, which
Oh, wow.
I always used to go to Mahabaleshwar, and every time I used to see that fort, and I used to tell myself, "Oh God, I want to be here." And every year, like we travel to Mahabaleshwar once a year, and for many years, I used to just go and I used to just come back home without going to the fort. So, and it used to be mainly the rainy seasons. So once I decided, no, I'm going to do this. So that's when we went, and it was raining and the steps were slippery and stuff, and there were many tourists around. So I said nothing doing. I climbed up one huge, you can say, a floor or something. The steps are big, huge, like um, and everyone was passing to and fro, up and down, and they were
Mhm.
running and rushing. And I thought that someone is going to push me down, and then I am not coming up again. But then somehow I managed to catch hold of the side, the thing, and somehow slow and steady with baby steps, I managed to reach right to the top.
And,
So that was,
and
and
would
then
have
I
been a
said,
great feeling
oh,
to do that.
oh yes,
Would
it
have
it
felt
it
great.
was like, yeah, it was like there's something when you decide, actually, when you put your mind to it, I don't think that there's anything that is impossible. That was a great achievement for me in that state, even though it was cold. And Mahabaleshwar is around 5,000 feet above the sea level. So that was one advantage, that no one has yet stopped me from going there, because I always put a condition that it is 5,000 feet, which is I'm allowed to go.
Okay.
So that is how I did it. Even when fashion shows, when I do the fashion shows, I walk the ramp. Um, Sometimes we are supposed to walk in heels, and the platform shoes actually don't make you walk in style. It's not the thing of dressing up or makeup or something like that. I just love walking, doing the catwalk, and walk, and the music that plays. So that is
Okay.
all I love, and that is why I'm so passionate about walking the ramp. Um, so when you walk on the ramp, either you have to walk really slowly, or you have to walk a very fast walk. So it depends upon the theme that is there.
And, and then
And yeah.
it is so inspiring to hear this. And how important is it to focus on what you can do and control, rather than uh, thinking what can happen but it's not in your control? So how important is that, and you've blended that, you've been able to do it so well.
Yes, I have I actually follow what the doctors say, but I also never give up on what I want. So I do things parallelly. I mean, doctors' suggestions and advices are vital, paramount, in fact, to live. But then I also believe that you cannot stop living your life, give up things that you love doing. So you have to actually blend your wishes along with what you are told to do. So what I did was, I found out a way. Like when I got really fat after the steroids I was put on. So I came across this an article of Kim Kardashian, where she just given birth to her first daughter,
Okay.
and she written that she lost all the fat, with doing 100 squats a day. So that inspired me a lot. And I thought I should also do this. And believe me, when you do squats, your heart is under a lot of stress. And squats reduces your weight because it's this blood circulation
Hmm.
and this heartbeat when they increase. So that's when you lose your fat. So I said, this is the shortest and most possible exercise that I can do at home without going to the gym. So I started with 10 squats, and then I got comfortable with those 10 squats. Then I pushed them to 11. Then I pushed them to 15.
Wow.
And slowly, now I can do 61 at one go.
Fantastic.
So yeah, and that is how, and I realized the changes in my body because I started to lose weight. And actually, the thing that I read in the article, it really worked. So that happened. Then I started doing push-ups. I was inspired. Many celebrities, they put, I mean, they, it is very inspiring to read about them, how they got through, how they got those great bodies and stuff. And when you're losing your own body, the shape of your body, because of these medicines which cannot be avoided at any cost, so somewhere you have to start things that you feel could be right for you, and
Right.
also not harm your health. So I started to do planks. First, I could do only up to 30 seconds. Now I can go for 2 minutes at one go. So slowly and steadily, that is why I say, talk about pushing your boundaries. You don't stick to one regime every time. Like, you have to change. I read somewhere that if you stick to one workout, your body doesn't change after a while. It just doesn't respond to
Yes.
the new same workout. So this is about reading and stuff, mixing,
It's
matching what my I can do, what I can't.
it's so amazing and
Yeah,
inspiring
Mehul?
to listen. It's so amazing and inspiring to listen to you. And you know, very quickly, few things that inspired me, and a few points that so very stands out in your journey is your acceptance, befriending the ailments. And this is so, I'm sure it would have been difficult, but you've done it so well. Befriending those illnesses, having faith, immense faith in self and the Almighty, staying positive, optimistic throughout the entire journey in times when you
Yeah.
were looking at pitfalls, yet, and most importantly, is to follow your heart and your dreams and push your boundaries, and you'd be surprised where you can land. Uh, this
Thank
is this is amazing, and I'm sure everyone who's going to listen to this over a podcast and view this over the YouTube channel, I'm sure they will only be inspired. I thank you very much for taking time out and joining us on Transformational Journey Show. It was wonderful to have you on the show, Natasha.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Mehul.
thank you.
It was wonderful talking and sharing my experiences. And I really hope that people find something beneficial to them
They
through
will,
whatever I've spoken and said just
they
now.
will, they will, they will,
Thank you, Tanya.
they will. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Mehul. Thank you.
Bye. Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Bye bye.